Hey. I'm just setting up my camera. Okay, let's see if that works. God, this lighting is fucking terrible. Fucking terrible. Oh my god. This angle, just nothing's working. Okay, let's see if I do it this way, that'll help maybe. No, bad idea. Okay, well, whatever, this is close enough. Yeah, so if anyone has any questions they want to ask me, go for it. I'm gonna close the blinds, actually. Maybe that'll help with the lighting. Oh, shit. Whoops. Okay, that's better. God. This is the thing I have about this is the issue I have with live streams, is that I feel like I'm always trying to adjust the camera still. But whatever. Does anyone have any questions? Please ask me questions. Otherwise, this video is going to be completely pointless. And especially because whenever I actually do, like, streams where I have shit planned out, that's when people always end up asking me a bunch of questions. And I'm like, I'm, like, already talking about a thing. Oh, hi, Miso. Do I smell good? I'm sorry. I don't love most people. If it makes you feel any better, it's not personal. I only love my puppies and my girlfriend. And my friends, I guess. So, I guess there's a few people, but most other people. Puppy! You're so cute, Miso. He just wants to be loved all the time. Don't you? Yeah, you also want my brownie, but you can't have that. No, that's Mama's. Yeah, that's Mama's. You can't have my brownie. Also, my dad and sister just got back from Disneyland last night, and they brought me this awesome sweatshirt. Are me and Nick still friends? No, we're not. No, we are not friends. I would disagree with that. I honestly didn't really like Disney World. It's, like, way too crowded, there's way too long of lines, and the rides are shorter. Well, he was kind of an asshole, so yeah, it's a good thing. Don't want to be friends with someone like that. Ugh, puppy. Oh, I probably should have marked this as 18 plus, whatever. They can do it themselves later. I mean, like, Epcot was chill, but, like, most of it kind of bordered on being slightly racist, I felt like, I don't know what that is. I did like Disney Paris, though. Disney Paris was bomb. Because it's, like, really tiny, and there's no one there. Yeah. I personally just like smaller amusement parks with less people. Like, the less people there are there, the more I'm gonna like it, because I don't do crowds of people. Oh, that. Michael Jackson. Honestly, I don't really give a shit about Michael Jackson. Like, Billie Jean's a good song. And Thriller's kind of overrated, in my opinion. Hi, puppy. Now I have Billie Jean stuck in my head. Hi. Are you eating my hair? What are you doing? Damn, I missed that comment. Ah, puppy. Why? Because I don't care about Michael Jackson? Because I don't care about Michael Jackson, I can't be your friend. It's so rude. Miso. I realize... Okay, fine. Here you go. So, do you want one? They're very excited about their Kyra booty. There you go, puppy. Guys, ask me interesting questions. Hi, puppy. Do you guys want to see the watercolors I've done recently? You're never gonna get more Pornhub videos. Okay. I'm definitely still dealing with depression, always. Favorite band? I don't really say I have a favorite band. Paramore, maybe? Like, I don't really listen to bands that often. Thriller is overrated. Okay, this is what I've been doing recently. So I did these, like, pride fairies, so basically just rainbows. My favorite concert I've been to was Flaming Lips or Snoop Dogg. One of the two. Okay, fairies. It's the red one. Orange. Yellow. Kind of lime green. Kind of turquoise. And then blue. And then indigo, kind of. I mean, it's like a light indigo or just kind of like a bluey purple, whatever. And then purple. And then like pinky magenta. And then like pink, reddish, like a orangey pink. Yeah, so there's those. Those are my little pride fairies. I didn't really like Paramore's new album, honestly. And You like the pointy bottoms? Yeah, that was just me being lazy and kind of running out of room to actually paint full skirts. So, yeah. Oh, and then I also painted this little, like, elf fairy lady. Yes, I am selling artwork on my website. And I think I'm gonna make prints of these guys, so once I figure out how I want to do that, then check back for that. But her nipples are silver. And then this is the one I just finished. And I did that one today. I like literally just finished that. Yeah, we talk all the time. Thank you. Hey! This is mine. Yes, blue nipples. Not almond milk. Only because you're really cute, Soul. Ugh. Not goat milk either. I like having brown hair. I like having blonde hair too, though. I'm really not... Soul just got scared by the scissors. I'm really not partial to any hair color. Of all of my hair colors, I think this one's currently my favorite. So, yeah. Also, look at my awesome scissors. They're the Eiffel Tower. Isn't that the best thing you've ever seen? Eiffel Tower scissors. Hi, Soul. Hi, Soulie. Hi, Popos. Can I have a kiss? Do you hate me? Do you hate Mama? Do you love me? Can I have a kiss? Can I have a nose kiss? So? Can I have a hand kiss? Can I have a nose kiss? Can I have a kiss? Soul, why don't you love me? She doesn't love me. Soul, why don't you love me? Can you love me? See, when I try and kiss her, she runs away. Soul. Yeah, she always does that. Hi. She does it when she's begging, because she wants me to give her food. Hi. Hi, princess. Do you like this? You gotta give me a nose kiss. Kisses? So, kisses? Hey. Kisses? Kisses. Kiss. Kiss, kiss. Miso, kisses? Dude, you guys suck. If I decide to have kids one day as a lesbian, what route would I choose? First of all, not a lesbian. Soul, give me a kiss. Give me a kiss on the cheek. Give me a kiss. 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 Fine. Hear me though. Yeah, I want to. Well, I filmed a Q&A which I'm totally gonna edit by the end of this week. Guys, hold me to that. Okay? I'm super lazy with editing shit, but hold me to actually finishing that by the end of this week and uploading it. I also, shut up. I also have like a bunch of recordings of me painting that I haven't edited or uploaded at all. So I'm gonna do that too, I promise. My computer's just like really, really fucking slow. So, miso. I have a Mac, but it's just a MacBook Air. And it's like the smallest hard drive, and it's like an 11-inch. It's like really, really small, and it was supposed to just be for like traveling. Like that was the plan. But if I ever did have kids, I would adopt. So, yeah. Now, I do believe in monogamous relationships. I mean, well, okay. Me not being a lesbian has nothing to do with me believing or not believing in monogamous relationships. Why not have my own children? Because I don't want anything inside me. First of all, I'm fucking way unhealthy. No. I have like pregnancy phobia. That's fucking not happening. There's no way in hell. No. God. Oh God. Yeah, no, giving birth really does sound fucking terrifying. I'm not about that. Oh yeah, but I believe the relationship should or shouldn't be monogamous based on your level of trust with the other person and like what the both of you decide on and what you just feel like is right. I mean, like, in my current relationship, like, she is my wife, and, she's mine, just mine, and I'm just hers. But also, if we wanted to have threesomes and we both agreed on it, that'd also be cool. So, like, yeah. I think it just depends. But, for the most part, how I am, I do better in monogamous relationships. Just because, you know, trusting one person's hard enough for me. Adding, like, multiple in there, it gets, like, way too fucking complicated, and then it's just, like, a whole thing. But if you're, like, way more adjusted than I am, then good on you. Fucking go for it. Hi. Can I have a kiss yet? Do you love me? I'm not saying there's a chance. No, I'm not saying there's a chance. Oh, hold on. What really made me quit was honestly that I was just sick, and then I was bored of it. It wasn't anything. Yeah, they've been fed. Don't let them trick you. Oh, also, we should get them some of the, teeth bones, because Lulu, her breath.
Teeth bones?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was thinking about that the other day.
Yep.
His stinky breath. His stinky breath. You got the other two dogs up there?
Yep, they're both up here. They're coming down now. Okay. Well, that's my dad for you. That's where I get my awkwardness from. No, literally it was nothing. Like, there was no reason for me to quit camming besides I was, like, really fucking depressed and, like, sick as fuck. Like, I had the flu, I was depressed, there's hella shit going on where I was living. It was just, like, a disaster, and then I ended up in the hospital, and so, yeah. And then I moved back in with my parents, so that was not really an option anymore. How long was I single prior to meeting my girlfriend? Good question. Huh. You know, it was ever since, I want to say like a year. No, not quite a year. It was like 8 months probably. Yeah, like 8 months. But for me, that's being single really fucking long because I am a serial dater. No, my parents were so pissed when I moved back in with 2 dogs. They were pissed when I moved in with 1 dog, and then when I came back with a puppy, and I ditched them with a puppy, they were like, really? Are you fucking kidding me? Again? And so, yeah, but they love him. Hi, Soul. So, it's fine. But they're always, like, kind of pissed off when I, bring dogs home. And, there are no more allowed to be brought home, apparently. We are at the limit. 3 is the limit. Soul, what are you doing? What are you doing, Soul? What are you doing? She's so funny. Oh, is that your toy, Soully? Is that your toy right there? You want to grab it? You want to bring it up here? How is my art thing going? Which art thing? Hi, Soully. Hi, Soully. Come up over here. Good girl. Come over here, Soul. Come over here. Which painting? Like, painting in general, or... I mean, like, it's going good. Yeah, I write too. Hi, puppy. Oh, you're fine, puppy doodle. It's just a neighbor. It's just a neighbor. It's nothing exciting. You're fine. There's nothing exciting happening, I promise. I promise. I promise. Shh. It's okay. No, no. Stay with me. I'll give you pirate booty if you stay with Mama. You want powder booty? You want that? You want that? I'm bribing my dog to stay with me. Can you shake my hand? Thank you. Good girl. Watch her run away as soon as she's finished eating that. No, the cops never did shit about my stalker. And I have no idea what happened because, like, I went to treatment and then, like, didn't really hear anything. I think, wait. I got something as soon as I got out of treatment. Someone sent me flowers. So that was creepy. Hi, Bobby. Thank you. But besides that, nothing else really. I think I've gotten a few emails here and there, but nothing too exciting. You don't need any more. No. You're fine. You're fine. She's only really cute when she's begging. Aww. Well, good. I try to be generally nice to people that aren't assholes. So. But I feel you on leaving. Yeah. Fuck public school. What are you doing? You can't have any more. No. No, baby. Hi, pretty dog. Hi, pretty dog. She's like trying to get as close as she can. Yeah, let's see. I mean, honestly, I use Postmates a lot and just ordered out. But there's, like, so many great places that Postmates will deliver from in Seattle. So, there's that. Actually, pretty much everything in Seattle delivers. It's great. So, you little baby. You are such a little baby. Let's see. I really like the pink door. You have to stop breathing for 4 minutes to die, so. It's like. I think it's 4. It's just so you know. Yeah, the pink door is super good. Kind of hard to find. It's, near Pikes. And it's down the alley that's like right up. I don't remember what it's fucking called. I hardly ever put on adulting outfits. I am a child. And I don't go anywhere. Post alley, thank you. What else is good? There's so many good vegan places. Plum Bistro. So good. God, this lighting. Driving me crazy. That's better. No. 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 Ooh, yeah, Molly Moon's does have good ice cream. And Cupcake Royale has awesome cupcakes. Yeah, there's also a bunch of really awesome stuff in Cap Hill, but it's kind of hard to find. You just kind of need to explore and just kind of like go in places that look kind of shitty. There's also shit, I totally forget the name of the pizza place that's underneath Pikes. That's the entrance is like in the gum wall. Hi. What is that called? I feel like it starts with an A or something. But there's a really good pizza place underneath Pikes. Entrance in the gum wall. And my favorite place to get food in Pikes is, shit, what's it called? I think it's just Crepe de France or something. I think that's it. But so good. The best crepes that you'll ever have. Like, and I've been to Paris and I've had crepes there and they're better than that. They're literally the best crepes you'll ever have. She is so intent on the pirate booty. Do you want the booty? Are you thirsty for the booty? Yeah, I love that place. Ooh, and the honey place. I don't remember what that's called. The honey place. So good. So much fresh honey. Yeah. Man, there's so much good food in Pike. After I would do all my grocery shopping, it got way expensive. Not as expensive as Whole Foods though, so. So. What are you doing? You want the booty? You want the booty? You want a booty? Hi, puppy. Thank you. Thank you for cleaning my hands off for me. Yes, you're so good at that. Yes, you're so good at that, so. Are you being a guard dog? Are you being a guard dog? You got hair in your mouth, that puppy. Thank you, puppy. What is something funny about the parks? Should I read another creepypasta? Thoughts? Yeah, creepypasta. Alright. Soul, can you move? So. I don't remember there ever being a Tarzan. Huh. Okay, Soul. This is not the best thought for you, baby. Can you move? Can you move? Hey, little princess, can you move? Can you move? Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen a male ass I want to pinch. Oh, unless you're talking about like a trans male, because in that case, yes. So yes, there are males asses that I want to pinch, but none that would be playing Tarzan. Or working at Disney, probably. Okay. Ah! Soul! Fuck off. Let's see. My favorite creepypastas. I really like the one that's, fuck, I don't remember what it's called, but it's like they're in Europe. Tim, what's that one that I have shown you? I know you know what I'm talking about. The one that's in London that is apparently totally incorrect. But I don't care. Okay, let's read the spotlighted pasta. It's called the Squire and the Black Scroll. Yeah, I don't remember what it was. I like it though. It's funny. Well, it's not funny, but it was creepy actually. And I liked the Disney ones that we read last time because that was kind of creepy. And totally relevant. Dude, this lighting. Okay, what the fuck? This lighting. Okay, do I need to have more blue? Less blue in the picture? What is SCP? Or am I literally just high and not remembering that acronym? Puppy, what are you doing? What are you doing? Silly puppy? Okay. Time to read. Okay, I'm just fucking forgetting what SCP means, aren't I? Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're right. I've seen that. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Okay, Soul. Is that you? Is that you in the camera? Is that you in the camera, Toto? Are you in the camera? Is that you in the camera? Is that you, Toto? Is that you, Toto? Right there, is that you? Is that you in the camera? Is that you, Toto? Yeah, that's you, Toto. That's you, Toto. She doesn't like it. Hi, Soli. Hi, Soli. Can you see in the camera, Toto? You see yourself in the camera, Toto? Okay. Okay, this seems like it's better. Alrighty. So this is just the spotlighted pasta. I don't know if it's going to be any good or not. Fingers crossed. Kneeling before the night at... Soul. Kneeling before the night... Okay. Yes, that's moved out of the way now. I have no food for you, but you gotta not be on the computer, okay? So. Okay, can you move, baby? Can you move, baby? Can you move? Can you move? Thank you. Okay, here we go. Kneeling before the knight, Edwin accepted the scroll with great honor. It was such an odd thing he held, one of the likes he had never experienced before. The parchment was cold to the touch and made from leather of the deepest black. It was absent of moisture, still it felt sick and slimy in his hands, as if it had been pulled from the river, rotting and decayed. He shivered at the thought of the animal whose hide hailed its origin. The parchment was rolled tight with a clay seal upon its surface. The emblem embedded in the clay consisted of sharp lines and gashes. The boy knew little of matters of magic and wizarding, but he had enough sense to see that dark curses and wicked hexes did this crest bind. Magic, yay. Arise, boy, make haste, and do not delay your departure. Word will soon reach the enemy of the scroll's discovery. The time of reckoning fast approaches. The sacrifices made to deliver the evil thing into our grasp cannot be wasted with indecision, said Sir Leonid. Wait, Leonid. I'm just gonna say Sir Leon. Giving him a nickname. Knight of the Fourth Realm. We're getting real nerdy, guys. This is great. With great effort, the young boy tried to remove any hint of apprehension and fear from his voice. Yes, my lord, he answered. Heed my words and do not deviate. And do not deviate from my instructions. Head south and ride hard across the plains and through the scorched hills until you reach the sunken mountains. Avoid the main paths and stay hidden until you reach the gates of the White Keep. The king put a large hand on the boy's shoulder and said with a lowered voice, The item you carry is dangerous and will betray you if given the opportunity. Do not give it such an opportunity. Never must darkness fall upon it. An hour before nightfall, build yourself a fire, and with green salt must you encircle the scroll to ward off any dark spirits and shadows that call to it. Trust no one. If you must draw your sword, you strike to kill. Do you understand me? The boy swallowed and gave small nods of affirmation to the knight. Satisfied with his response, then I don't know why I'm like resting my head on my face like this. This is go-to. Satisfied with his response, the knight continued, I ride east in the morning with every sword and shield that would follow my banner. Sir Leon paused and looked affectionately down at the boy. My dear Edwin, I fear this may be the last time we speak, but if fortune favors us, we will attract the attention of the enemy's eyes and draw their numbers towards us. You will pass through the land safely and undetected." The boy took leave of the knight. He swiftly made his way to the supply hut within the encampment to gather all he would need for the journey. He was lost in thought as he saddled his young steed. Preoccupied was he over the war that tore through the land from an enemy that came from the stars. He wondered about the object openly displayed in the daylight upon his saddlebags. He pondered what would come to pass if the rays of the sun no longer fell upon the scroll. So focused on the dark scroll was he that he took no notice of the hooded figure that approached from behind. Dude, you're right. Someone is always named fucking Edwin in fantasy novels. It just reminds me of fucking Narnia, which also need to reread Narnia. So good. Horse and His Boy. That one's my favorite. Okay, anyway. Such a mighty quest for such a tiny boy. Are the times so dire that it comes to this? Well, one cannot deny that the fates do not have a sense of humor in matters such as these. Wouldn't you agree, little one? He bellowed a jolly laugh. The boy turned and clenched his jaw at the insult, but held his tongue when he saw the robes of a nobleman. He bowed his head and said, with as much respect as he could muster, "I do what is commanded of me, sire." The man laughed again. "Do not take offense, young one. I merely saw an opportunity to jest at you. Although it might be wise to avoid such things until a more appropriate time, wouldn't you say?" The man's eyes suddenly narrowed as if truly seeing the squire for the first time. To the discomfort of the boy, the man approached. He circled Edwin several times, inspecting him up and down. Once satisfied, he knelt before the young man, greeting his gaze as equals, and said, Yes, I have chosen well. I have chosen well indeed." At this, he removed his hood and revealed his identity. The squire immediately bowed, recognizing the face of the wizard, and gasped, "The Old One!" The most cheesy fucking, old-ass wizard name ever. The Old One! Always. The old man smirked, but held humor in his eyes. If I were able to conjure the name of the bastard who thought up that title, I would curse his children and his children's children. The whole lot of them would sprout tails of a pig from their bottoms. Jokey, that's his fucking name. Jokey, wizard and advisor to the king of the fourth realm, returned his attention to the squire and gently lifted the boy back to his feet and spoke. "Nay, brave child, arise. You bow to no one after this day comes to pass." For a moment, the old man's attention seemed to drift to other matters. He lifted his head as if listening to voices he could only hear. After a time, his eyes cleared, and they fell upon the boy. Side note, this is my prediction for what's going to happen. The wizard's evil. He's going to turn on him. Something like that. And that's my thought right now. He hurriedly began... Oh my god. He hurriedly began helping to load the squire's equipment and supplies on the horse. He said, "Time is precious. So little of it remains, and you have so far to go. However, do not despair, my lad. You do not go into the wilderness without defense and unprepared." The wizard reached into his robe, removed several objects, and presented them to the boy. He held a torch, a dagger, and a leather pouch. He said, "I give you the eternal torch of El Anadora. Elanadora. Darkness will flee from the light of the flames it shines. Bathe that wretched thing you carry in its glow, and you will be safe." Next, the wizard held up a sheath. That's a really hard word to say. Try saying that. Sheathed. Okay. Held up a sheathed dagger of silver and blue steel. He spoke. "This is the blade Anuela Terra. Anuela Terra. It fell from the hand of our goddess the day she succumbed to the enemy and was stolen from us. May it give you sight in your darkest hour. Respect this blade, and it will serve and protect you well." I know, the old one or ancient one or whatever, it's never... They do sound like frustrated linguists, yeah. They totally do. Trying to use all of the big words. He lifted up the final item and gently laid it in Edwin's hand. Long ago, a mortal and an angel formed a friendship during the War of Daemoni. So deep was their bond that it surpassed death and immortality. At the end of the mortal's life, the angel wept silver light and offered up his wings to exchange places with his dear friend. Moved by this act, the goddess called back his friends from the afterlife and made each into a star. She put them in the night sky where they would stand next to each other for all eternity, never to be separated. As they ascended, each shed joyful tears of silver that fell to the ground. They were gay. They were gay. They were gay. Definitely gay. My dear boy, I now give you this pouch. It holds the very last of our most treasured possession, silver salt from the tears of those two old friends. You mean gay lovers. But it is but a pinch, but it is all that remains, and no more will there ever be after this is gone. Evil cannot withstand its touch. Use it wisely and as a last resort. The wizard led the horse to the encampment's edge and helped the squire mount his steed. He spoke. Accompany the scroll and personally place it in the hands of my sister, Aliadria. These fucking names, dude. Also, Aliadria, that bitch is evil. Don't trust her. Tell her you carried the scroll of Nikatorum. Toratum. She will know what to do. Trying to feign as much courage as possible, the boy asked the old man, "My lord, why does this scroll carry such importance? Why do you entrust its charge to me? I'm a mere squire who has barely seen the edge of battle." Well, if we all were as humble as him. The wizard gazed sadly at the child and said, "My boy, I'm afraid your questions must be put aside for another day. The less that is known to you, the better. If it were up to me, a garrison of our mightiest men would accompany you, but this quest is for you and you alone. I have foreseen it. As I have said, the fates do have a strange sense of humor." With that, he slapped the rest of the rear of the horse and sent the two racing off towards the smoky, black southern horizon. The wizard turned softly to himself and said, "Yes, I have chosen very well." As the squire was an obedient servant, as there ever was, Edwin followed his master's instructions to the letter. He rode hard and swift through the scorched hills, and faithful to the knight's word, not a sign or hint of opposition's forces did Edwin encounter. Each day the boy was ever so mindful of the position of the sun. He always gave himself sufficient time needed to prepare the scroll before nightfall came. He carefully sprinkled the emerald salt around the scroll and set ablaze the sacred torch. There he would sit until morning, with his dagger clutched tightly in his hands. It was not until he reached the passageway to the sunken mountains did misfortune eventually find Edwin. A company of troops occupied the mouth of this slender pathway. Never before had he laid eyes upon soldiers of the enemy. Even from a distance they filled his heart with terror and dread. Long and slender they stood motionless along the rocky path. Stalks of pointed knobs protruded from their brown and black rotting flesh, and grew like that of moss upon trees of a swamp. No hint of eyes did they possess except for pinprick glints of silver like that of a coin. Their mouths slowly opened and closed, reminding him of a fish plucked from the waters with the gills gasping for breath. Consulting his map, the boy confirmed what he already knew. You had fucking time to consult your map? Excuse me? What? It was time to consult their map when they're, like, presented with the enemy right in front of them. That doesn't make sense. I need to fucking smoke. Guess I need to fucking add more weed in here. That's what I need to do. I also keep reading while I do that. Just kidding. I cannot multitask right now, so I'm not doing that. Kind of have a headache. Sorry, guys. Sorry for being a druggie. Oh, really? I'm not sorry. Okay. God, my nose is so fucking itchy. Fucking allergies. Okay. Back here. Stupidly, this fucking idiot is stopping to consult his map. Consulting his map, the boy confirmed what he already knew. Only one other path he could take. Determined to complete his quest, he continued south and followed the river. When night approached, Edwin repeated his ritual of protective spells and brought his beloved horse into the safety of the torch's comforting glow. What do you feel like something's going to happen to this horse? I'm going to be pissed if something happens to this horse. Edwin shuddered at the thought of his new destination. The Devil's Maw. The Devil's Maw. It is said in the age of Gaute, a great hellmouth has formed in the lands. Oh my god, a fucking hellmouth. Bye. The goddess sprung forth a forest and commanded the trees to bind this new evil. The good trees performed their duty, but eventually came to feel betrayed and abandoned. They turned away from their mandate and betrothed themselves to the hellmouth. The caverns consumed the trees and merged to become a forest of wood and petrified stone. Now, all men are warned to steer clear of its boundaries, for dark spirits look down upon them with unimaginable hate and ill intent. In 2 days' time, the boy stood before a tree line of bark and gnarled trunks at the mouth of a gaping cave. What? Yeah, dude, I don't fucking know. I didn't write it. I don't know. Yeah, the writer does need a dictionary. They married the trees. Fuck, where am I? Ah. Massive twisted branches of black and green stretched as far as the eye could see. Stalactites, stalactites, and stalagmites. There we go. I totally passed science. Yeah, stalactites. jutted up and down the stone floors and roof, giving it the appearance of jagged fangs. No sound could be heard, no bird sang or animal stirred within the dark wood and cold stone. The silence and absence of movement were oppressive upon the young boy's spirit. He took what supplies he could carry, unsaddled his beloved horse, and removed his reins. He took a handful of hay from deep within his satchel and held it up to the horse's snout. It caught the scent of the feed and ate gratefully from the boy's hand. Edwin spoke. This hay comes from the stables to the nobleman's steeds of the keep. Follow its scent and continue south along the edge of the forest in caverns until you stand before the walls of the White Keep. My gate lies on the path you cannot follow, my friend. If the grace of the goddess is upon us, we will meet again. I like that this is a goddess, though. Hi, puppies. Hi, puppies. Okay, now we're fighting. Fighting puppies. I know. I don't want the horse to die. Terrible loneliness laid heaviness. Terrible loneliness laid heavy upon the boy's brow as he wished his companion good fortune and set his loyal horse free. With the torch of El Anadora in one hand and a sword in the other, Edwin entered the Devil's Maw, alone as the wizard forbid. Or foretold, not forbid. Miso, soul, what are you doing? Dude, my nose needs to stop being so itchy. By Edwin's calculation, 3 days' time would take it to transgress the narrowest part of the forest. He would emerge on the morning of the 4th day with only a quarter of a league to travel. The silence was maddening the first full day in the belly of the beast. Did he really just say fucking belly of the beast? Oh my god. True to its word, the torch of the fucking torch burned brilliantly. Never did its wood burn down, nor was its oil consumed by flame. The trees looked down with such hatred and rage. Root and twine withered to the ground, unable to penetrate the glow of the torch. Thorn and thistle scraped along bark and rock, waiting for the chance to pierce and puncture skin and flesh. On the second day, broken was the silence, stirred was the stillness. Okay. Oh my god. This feels like something I would have written in high school, maybe. Whimpers emerged and called out from the darkness behind the deep groans and moans of the tree. Groans and moans. Miso is actually the monster. Fuck, where are the moans and groans? Groans and moans. Puppies, can you fight somewhere else? Of the tree trunk swaying in the windless night. The vast branches beckoned for a champion to come hence to handle the transgressor and acquire this hidden thing that tingled to the ground it passed over. At last the guardian emerged from its dark caverns of the hellmouth that lay below. The plains of the giant trees and stones had been accepted. Upon the evening of the 3rd day, weariness and despair weighed heavy on Edwin. He poured the last of his precious emerald salt around the wicked scroll and sat before it. With dagger in hand, fatigue overcame him swiftly, and the forest saw an opportunity to strike. Masses of twisted and gnarled vines approached from above, carrying droplet of mildew water within its crevices. Drip by drip, water fell upon the torch. The flame singed and hissed against the moisture, but slowly its light grew less. With the last droplet of water, Edwin opened his eyes wide, and the last of the light was extinguished. All was plunged into darkness. So much weariness and despair is hanging on him. Or weighing on him, or fucking whatever. In the darkness, the scroll gave a heavy sigh, then fell silent. A scream pierced the night from this cursed object. It shrieked with the voice of 100 women and infants merged into one. Okay, why is it women and infants that are screaming? Why can't men also be screaming? Like, what's up with that? God. It hurt the boy's ears and filled him with terror. The wail slowly faded, and in the distance something answered the scroll's cries. Edwin unsheathed his dagger and cut through the air with a slash. A yellow wave of light shot forth in every direction, illuminating the area. In the distance, he heard branches breaking, rubble fall, and leaves trampled from the one who answered the scroll's call. Not knowing what else to do, he placed the dark scroll into his satchel and buried it under what green salt he could scoop off the ground. He hung the He hung the pouch of silver salt around his neck and nervously gathered his essential belongings. Beyond the amber glow, he heard the sound of ripping and tearing coming from the ground. A large black root had emerged from the wet stone ground. Blackthorn covered its body and glistened in the yellow light as it reached for the boy. More thorned roots emerged from the grotesque plant and rattled in the cold air. I know! Like, is this Zelda? How many fucking pouches do you need? He ran without letting up, occasionally slashing at vine or thistle that moved towards him with the bloodlust of an enraged animal. The footsteps of his stalker were relentless in its pursuit. It stomped on the ground and then kept to the trees and back on the ground. The boy scrambled to the top of the ridge and saw a cluster of vines not yet afflicted with the forest's curse. He grabbed the vines and swung across its open gully to the other side. Okay. He quickly cut the vines to prevent anyone from following. He turned to leave with the sound and cut through the air. The scraping of 2 metal blades rung out from the darkness. It kept its distance just beyond the mythical golden light that surrounded the blessed dagger. It continuously scraped its knives together over and over again. The sounds grew louder and faster. Panic filled the boy. Just as he was about to turn and flee, the scraping stopped, and the beast emerged from behind the flickering shadows of the trees. It stood at the edge of the ridge, and its stare fell upon the boy. Okay. Okay. Bye. Okay. I need to take a sip of this before I can read this bullshit. Ha! True. It was a dwarf, and also dwarfs. Not the dwarves recited to children in tales of fantasy and delight. These were ancient and evil creatures who despised the very existence of man. Oh my god. I'll get back to the Q&A after I finish this shit, because this is just fantastic. I think this might be grumpy. They infestated the outskirts of each of the 12 known hellmouths, greedily excavated the caverns for jewels, diamonds, and other precious metals. The creature stood hunched on all fours. It was half the size of a man, naked and emancipated. Its flesh was white and stretched tight over its bone. Wait, hold up. Did he just say they look for jewels and shit? So it's basically like the 7 fucking dwarves. It's the same thing. but they're like little fucking skeleton-ass dwarves. So, okay. uh, every manner of metal rings hung from its flesh, and nails pierced its skin. Filled was its mouth with 2 rows of, on top and bottom, of needle-thin teeth. Upon its head sat the only clothing it wore, a pointed hat, stained brown and red, made from the skin of human flesh. Oh, it's so scary. Like, is this supposed to be scary? I'm confused. With a smug confidence, it turned and walked away towards the ring's edge. Not the ring's edge. That would be maybe more scary. Yeah, I'm imagining, like, the, like, emancipated dwarf version, or skeleton-ass dwarf version of, like, those hella tattooed and pierced people. That's all I'm getting right now. Walked away from the ridge's edge. Turning, it bellowed a loud howl and ran at full speed towards the ravine. The boy turned to flee as the beast jumped high in the air, landing a short distance behind him. Edwin suddenly stopped and swung his weapons in an attempt to surprise his foe. The white creature easily batted away each strike with its 2 short and twisted blades. The boy swung and jabbed, but the pale beast evaded each slash and every attack. It hopped from the ground to the branches of the trees and then back to the ground with speed and grace. Cackling, it was now just playing with the boy. This isn't scary. I wish it was scary. They tried really hard to write it, but it's not that scary. From behind, it jumped onto the boy's back and buried its needle teeth into the boy's shoulder. He howled in pain and stumbled backward until he slammed the creature into the trunk of a tree. Its teeth shattered and broke off the boy's flesh. Okay, ow. The wounded Edwin was losing his duel, and he knew it. He then looked past the dwarf and saw the ground slope downward and heard the sound of running water. A glimmer of hope crossed his eyes. He broke the bindings of the pouch around his neck and poured the contents into his hand. With all his might, Edwin charged at the dazed creature. He slammed hard into the dwarf, sending them both sending the both of them spiraling out of control down the wet hillside and towards the running stream's edge. Is he gonna, like, make all the water salty with the magic salt tears? I'm confused. They rolled and tumbled for what seemed like forever until crashing hard at the cliff's bottom. The beaten and battered Edwin slowly crawled towards the water's edge to make his escape, but the dwarf was unfazed and pounced on the boy. He landed hard on the boy's body, submerging his head under water. He grabbed a handful of hair and yanked Edwin's head. Yeah, and then they started making out, and then they fucked. Okay. No, I am just really lonely. Sorry, I lost track of where I was. And yanked Edwin's head back roughly to expose the child's throat. It laughed in his ear and spoke insults to the boy in its strange tongue. Edwin could feel its hard member dig deeply into the small of its back. Okay, they might be fucking soon. What? What is happening? Stop. Okay, hold on. He felt the cold steel pressed up against his neck, blood already beginning to trickle from the cut of the blade's sharp edge. This is like, wait, what's that? It's like, it's not like a snuff film. What's that one where they're like having sex and then die? No, not that. Where like you kill someone while you're having sex with them. That thing. It's like that. The dwarf lifted its head and howled a cry of victory. Before the breath from the dwarf's yell of triumph had entirely left its mouth, Edwin turned his head around to spat a mouthful of water directly into its face. That's kind of funny. Silver beads of light erupted upon contact with the dwarf's face. It clutched its face. Flesh fell away in mushy clumps and seeped between its bony fingers. Oily black and green blood bubbled over its cupped hands and oozed down its arms. Its eyes were expelled from its skull with such force, the dwarf's head snapped back sharply, breaking its neck. Paralyzed, it wailed in agony from the silver salt eating into its face. Unnoticed, the boy had put the salt into his mouth before his head was plunged into underneath the cold water. Triumphantly, the boy picked himself up and stood over the broken body of the fallen dwarf. In the distance, light from a new dawn broke through the forest's edge, and the boy smiled. Sir Edwin tightly grasped the hilt of the sacred dagger, and with two mighty swipes, he took the head and manhood of the conquered dwarf. What is with the penises? Why? I don't want to hear anything else about penises, please. And don't call it a manhood, also, because that's just fucking weird. Why did you cut his dick off? That's just like... Why did you want that? On the fourth day, Edwin emerged from the cavern's tree line and fell into the arms of the beautiful sorceress. I guess? I don't like it. And fell into the arms of the beautiful sorceress. Of course he did. She had foreseen his arrival and anxiously stood with the boy's faithful steed awaiting his approach. With his final breath, the last of his strength, he reached into the bag and gave the scroll. Aw, not skulls. The scroll of Necrotortum to Aladria as the old one had commanded. She fell to her knees from grief, for this had not been foretold. What? The fates had once again made a mockery of the pain and struggles of a mortal to satisfy their need for entertainment. She looked down at the child and mourned the loss of one so young and brave. Wait, what? Did he die? I'm confused. It surprised her when the boy's loyal steed came forth and nestled its nose against the dead boy's face. Oh, he did die. Fuck. Never had she witnessed such bonds of affection from a beast towards a human soul. If she were to render a guess, she would swear it too was grieving for the loss of its companion. She could not help but feel pity for the animal. Her thoughts were interrupted when a glint of silver sparkled and caught her eye from within the child's mouth. Hope ignited within her as realization ascended upon her. The reunion between two friends had created a moment powerful enough to find the tiny granule of silver salt. Okay, so him and the horse are fucking gay together. This is all about bestiality. Gay bestiality. That's what this whole thing's about. Severed dwarf penises on the black market. Fuck yeah. She smiled as she saw the depth of friendship these two dubious characters shared. You mean the weird gay relationship that's happening in animal abuse. The sorceress quickly took out her wand and waved it in circular motions over over the boy's body. She said, "Not yet, child. We beg you not to leave us. You have so much left to do in this world. Come back, come back. You need to fuck your horse." Just kidding. She didn't say that, but she should have. Edwin's body began to shudder, and his erection grew. I'm just kidding. I'm sorry, but like as soon as they were talking about the fucking dwarf's member being on his back, I like lost all respect for this. Oh my god. Edwin's body began to shudder and the lids of his eyes fluttered. They snapped open with awareness and life, and Edwin took in a deep breath of air. Tears of joy filled his eyes and flowed down his cheeks in streams. Trails of moisture glistened with magnificent. I'm sorry, I just started thinking about cum from that. With magnificent light from the silver salt they held. He clasped the beautiful sorceress by her hands and said, "She is real. She led me through the darkness towards your voice. She spoke to the scroll and revealed its secrets to me. I know how to use it." "Be still. Of whom do you speak, child?" asked that one bitch whose name I don't want to try and pronounce. "My goodness, my goddess, the lady," said the boy. "I know where she is imprisoned. I can find her and break the bonds that restrain her." Edwin stood shakily to his feet, his face now ablaze with light from the silver salt of his dried tears. He spoke with such joy. "She gave me a message to deliver to the old one. Speak, child. What is the message?" she asked. Edwin looked at the black scroll in her hands, and with the sight of a sheer and the strength of a knight, he spoke. She said, "Prepare. The day of the prophecy will soon be upon us. The return of our champion grows near. The time has come to rid the land of the worm." Okay. Nope. Mm-mm. 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 There's too many penis references happening. We might as well just read porn. Hold up. This one's called She Called Me Daddy. Now we need to see what this means. Okay, this is a short one too. Sweet. Okay, so this is better. Way too much salt and penis. And just the liquid coming out of him, I was just... That... Okay. "I need to find Sabrina. Something bad has happened in this house that was once a home. This was no place for a child, especially for one that calls me daddy. Within the darkness she lies. Where, I do not know, but I will find her. God help me, I will find her." My hand reaches for the light switch by the front door. A blinding bulb illuminates the room with a flash, then with a pop. It fades back into darkness. In that moment, I spy my daughter standing atop the warped staircase. "Sabrina!" I call out. A quiet pitter-patter of footsteps echoes upstairs as small bits of dust fall through the cracks of the ceiling. I took the first step on this flight of stair with a groan resounding through the empty cavern of a home. With every motion forward, my palms shake more violently along the grimy handrails. At the last step, I see a word written with the within the filth-covered wall. Guilty. "Sabrina!" I yelled down the upstairs hall. A faint whisper creeps through the doorway. "Daddy!" With every step closing the gap, my heart beats faster in my chest and sweat forms at my brow. While traveling this dimly lit hall, I find a message written in lipstick read to my left on the drywall. 3 counts, 1st degree. "Sabrina!" A shrill voice answers me. "Daddy!" I shuffle my way to the last door on the right. I freeze, seeing another message that awaits my viewing. Murder. "Sabrina, are you in there?" I shout into the barrier of mahogany. "Daddy, there's something wrong with Mommy." My hands grasp the doorknob and give it a twist. With a deep breath of musky air, the door opens, revealing a small, darkened figure of my child kneeling on my bed before a moonlit window. I step quickly to her and stand at her back near the window. My child rests there on her knees, motionless. Sabrina, what's wrong? I softly inquire, yet she does not respond. I reach into my pocket and pull out a lighter. With the wow. Bleh. Got hair in my mouth, of course. With a quick roll of the flint, the flickering light strobes to the life a number written on the wall above the bed. 82745. My eyes then gaze downward to the horrific sight. There on the bed lies a nude man and woman. The man lays facing downward and the woman upright. A multitude of red gashes speckle their corpses. From them oozes a drying paste of blood that has since pooled onto the bed sheets. See, this is more of the horror story I'm talking about. I gasp, shaking at the knees as the realization sets in, for there on the nightstand rests the bloodied kitchen knife beside my child. I lean over the footrest and inspect the scene more carefully. The man I recall in a symphony of metallic clanking and mesh gearing. The woman is my beautiful wife, Vanessa. Judging by the vastly greater number of wounds that dot her, the attacker had led more rage towards my one, my only. I look back at Sabrina. What happened? She slowly turns her head to look at me. In her hand she holds a rag doll Vanessa seamed together before the birth. She clutches the doll like a dear friend as she shudders and shakes in fear. From out of nowhere, the doll suddenly animates and reveals the same small knife that had been laying on the nightstand. With slow, deliberate motions, it raises the knife with a plush hand to its mouth. The edge of the blade moves across the embroidered smile and leaves a red streak of blood behind its jagged path. The felt mouth begins to move and speak to me with a low, hoarse voice that could only be mimicked by a lifelong smoker. Okay, let me try and do this. God, I'm gonna fuck this up, I know it. Look upon the man that lies in your bed. I can't do it. Whatever. I place a hand upon the dead man's shoulder and roll him onto his back. His face! Look at his face! I peer into the shadowed features of the lifeless corpse. My friend. A co-worker. I stammer. My head quickly turns back to the doll as it lets out a haggard laugh. Now look at the bastard's child that loves you so. I made eye contact with the teary and trembling face of the girl. She whimpers and holds the doll to her chest like a shield. What do you see? The soft figure inquires. They're one and the same, I say, starting to cry. No child of yours, it croaks. No child of mine, I iterate. The doll reaches towards with the knife handle, facing towards me. Finish what you started, it commands. I take the knife and hold it over my shoulder. No child of mine. The last 5 years have been a lie, I whisper. No child of yours, it says, goading. My hand puts a death grip upon the wooden handle as the anger builds within me. No child of mine. The girl peeks behind the doll's head. Daddy, what did you do? With a sudden burst of burning red anger, I scream out the words, No child of mine! No child of mine! No child of mine! The blade slashes through the air. In a moment of contact, a flash of darkness fills my vision. My head jerks upward out of bed. The nightmare still plagues me as I walk to the sink to cool my sweaty brow. Shivers run down my back as cool water douses my face. In a moment of clarity, I look down upon myself. I have donned the same orange jumpsuit for the last 12 years, bearing the number 82745. No child of mine, I croak in the darkness of my cell. But she was the only one in this world who called me daddy. Dun dun dun! That was pretty good. Okay. If anyone still wants to ask me any questions, do so now. Because I'm probably going to hop off relatively soon. If there's no one else that has any questions for me. Anyone have any questions? God, this lighting is driving me crazy. Me though. So cute. Okay, well, if no one has any more questions, then I'm gonna hop off. Might get on Instagram live later, maybe. If not later today, maybe tomorrow. So, yeah. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for listening to Pastas with me. See you next time. Bye, guys. Don't forget to like this. Bye.